YouTube friends. My name is Constance and this is Cruelty Free Musings. Welcome back to my channel and to an Empties video. I know I don't usually do Empties this frequently. I think I filmed one last month or like the end of August. It's October. What happened? It's the beginning of October. Well, part of it is I did a little declutter of my collection. I cleaned out some things that had died, gone bad. And part of it is that I've used up enough bulky things that my box is full. So let's talk about things. I have kind of rough sorted my box so that I'm talking about non-makeup things and then makeup things towards the bottom of the box. Alright, so let's get into it. Starting with the Bliss Makeup Melt Dry Wet Gentle Jelly Cleanser with Rose Flower. This is fine. It's, it has fragrance in it, in case you couldn't tell from the rose flower. Rose flower is a fragrance. It has a lot of fragrance in it. It's not super noticeable on the face, but and it doesn't sting my eyes, which is good. Like this is a gentle cleanser, and it works well to it does work well as a dry cleanser to get off makeup. The thing is, I was using this primarily as a second cleanse. It does not work as well taking oil off of my face. So this gets the kibosh. I will not repurchase it. One, because it has fragrance in it. Two, because it's kind of expensive for something that you're washing down the drain. Like I think that, I mean, it's 6 ounces, but still, this is like $16 or something. Yeah, I thought it was okay. Not worth it. Not worth paying $16 for something that doesn't take off the oil part of my oil cleanse really well, that's how I prefer to wash my face just in general. It's the double cleanse. So I'm looking for a second cleanse that takes off the oil, and this did not. And it also did not take off the dissolved mascara that the oil cleanser leaves behind very reliably. So 2 strikes, not going to repurchase it. I wouldn't recommend it even if you're not particularly avoiding fragrance in your cleanser. Like I said, my skin is sensitive, my eyes are sensitive, so I try to, now that I have realized that fragrance can be really bad and doesn't serve any purpose, I have been trying to avoid fragrance, and I think overall my skin is happier. Alright, next up. This was in my collection when I went cruelty free. This is the Tresemme Keratin Smooth Heat Protect Spray. It's not great. I have a really fine hair. This is a heat protectant spray. It smells nice, but it weighs down my hair. So I would spray this in my hair, curl it, my hair would fall out of its curl. Even sprayed liberally with hairspray, it would fall out of my curl by the time I drove into the city and walked around for 10 minutes. I would not recommend to people with very fine hair. And also, I will not repurchase for the double reason that Tresemme is not cruelty-free. Alright, let's do this one. This is my deodorant. This is Certain Dry Prescription Strength Clinical Antiperspirant. It has aluminum in it. The directions for this are: use it at night. Put on a little bit at night and sleep, and while you're sleeping, the aluminum works its way into your sweat glands and suppresses the sweat. It works really well. It's not scented. I find that it doesn't do anything to make my armpits smell fresh, but it will suppress sweat odor. So it says that you can apply this in the morning for a fresh feeling. I don't find that it does anything when you apply it in the morning personally, but I do really enjoy this deodorant, and I repurchase it regularly. Next up, this is a sunscreen that I bought when I thought that I was going to run out of my Air & Spaces sunscreen before a new one would ship. This was back in April. So I bought this from Sephora. This is the Umbra Sheer Physical Daily Defense SPF 30. It's a nice sunscreen. It's a mineral sunscreen, which I tend to go for. It's a little bit extra moisturizing, and I find that so there's okay, this doesn't have the ingredients actually on the tube. They're probably on the box, which I'm sure I don't have anymore. So this has shea butter in it and possibly coconut oil. I found that for a while when I was using it, I was breaking out. Like I would get what most people call hormonal acne. I get like anti-hormonal acne at like the opposite point of my cycle in the month. Like two weeks before that time of the month, I will have a hormonal breakout. It's the point at which my hormones are actually the lowest. So I don't always get those. I was getting them very reliably, and they would hang around when I was using this. So I used this up by alternating it, like not using it more than 2 or 3 days in a row, and then switching to another sunscreen for 2 or 3 days, and then switching back to the sunscreen. I did enjoy it, but I wouldn't repurchase it because it did seem to aggravate my acne for whatever reason. Not really sure what is in this that might be causing that. Possibly coconut oil. That one's pretty high in the favored list for a lot of more natural brands or like cruelty-free brands. It's annoying because I am cruelty-free because I care about animals, not because I think that lavender oil is great for my skin. So, yeah, this is a nice sunscreen, but aggravated my acne. I did really like the finish of it on my skin if I wasn't putting on makeup, but I found that I had to use a damp sponge to be able to blend foundation over this. Was not able to use a brush, which is my preferred method because I'm lazy. Speaking of beauty blenders, this is a beauty blender. Okay, so this was my first time ever using a beauty blender. The first dampenable beauty sponge that I bought was a Real Technique sponge, which I enjoy. These sponges, the Beauty Blender, the original, the first expandable sponge, is way softer than the Real Technique sponge. The advantage of the Real Technique sponge is that you can swipe on foundation very fast. This, you really have to bounce the foundation into your skin because it's too soft to swipe and get the foundation to cover evenly. I do like this, I do like the original Beauty Blender. I got a 2-pack. So I'm still using the Beauty Blender currently. I don't know that I would repurchase it particularly, but it's a nice sponge. It has different qualities than the drugstore sponges that I started out using. Those are easier to use if you're trying to quickly apply makeup, especially the Real Technique sponge, because you can use the flat side and just patch on your foundation and then smear it into your skin, and it works really well for that. I think I may have bought some more Real Technique sponges because I missed that style of application, and I don't currently have sponge backups. Another deodorant. This goes way back. This was from before I went cruelty free. This is another antiperspirant. It's also a deodorant, so it's scented. That seems to be the difference. Antiperspirants are aluminum-based, deodorants are fragrance to cover your odor. I don't mind aluminum deodorants, clearly. The deodorant that I purchase over and over again is an aluminum-based deodorant, antiperspirant. I would actually specifically consider it not a deodorant. This I used up in the mornings, being like, choop choop, let's, smell a little bit powdery. Yeah, so like this, it's a fine deodorant. I am pretty picky when it comes to antiperspirants and deodorants in general. Back when aluminum-free deodorants started being a thing, my mom tried to buy me a couple, and I had really bad reactions to, I think both Jason's. I think I had a bad reaction to a Jason's deodorant, and then the Toms of Maine just didn't do anything to cover the smell of sweat. It would like combine with my sweat smell and smell utterly rancid, which is not what you want out of your deodorant. So I like the Schmidt's natural deodorant. It's not great for your underarms just in general to put a bunch of essential oils and fragrances on your underarms, but I do occasionally buy them because I enjoy a lot of the smells, and I have no problems with it causing adverse reactions the way that a lot of natural deodorants have caused me problems in the past. This Degree one is fine. I wouldn't repurchase it because it's not cruelty free, and I'm happy that I finally stuck to it long enough to actually use it up. This is my mainstay shampoo. This is the Hask Biotin Boost Thickening Shampoo. It has biotin, collagen, and coffee in it. I have really fine hair. I mentioned this. One of the things that I do is not wash it frequently. The natural oils in your hair will give it more texture as you don't wash it. But I do also find this shampoo to be helpful in giving my hair texture as in between the times, you know, I wash it and it has a little bit of body just from the way that I treat it as I let it dry. And this shampoo also helps with that, like, I find. I also have the conditioner, which I go through extremely slowly. That bottle of shampoo lasted me a year and a half, and I bought a conditioner at the same time as I bought that shampoo. And it's, I don't know, maybe I've used a third of it. I go through conditioner very slowly. I like having a texturizing conditioner because if I have a super silkifying conditioner, it just weighs down my hair and does nothing for the body of my hair at all. Like, it looks completely flat to my head, but I find that that conditioner doesn't weigh my hair down too terribly much. I just don't use it that frequently. In part because I don't wash my hair that frequently. In part because I don't see a super fantastic result with conditioner. Like, my hair is not super dry or brittle. I don't develop split ends generally. In part because I don't heat style my hair ever, like more than once every 2 months. So yeah, my hair is colored, but I would not consider it damaged, so I don't condition it much. Alright, hand wash. Super exciting. This one I heard from one of the friends that we play Final Fantasy TCG with, trading card game, that it smells like Fruit Loops. I don't smell it personally, but the scent is lemon sugar. This is the Raw Sugar Simply hand wash. It was in the guest bathroom. We used it up. It's, you know, it's fine. It doesn't bother my contacts, which I have my contacts in the spare bedroom because our master bathroom in the spare bathroom. I have my contacts in the spare bathroom because I get up before Bear. And the master bathroom, you have to turn on the light outside the bathroom, then open the door, then close it. You can't, the light's outside the actual bathroom. So if I am going into the master bathroom to put in my contacts, I'm going to wake up Bear because I get up before him most of the time, unless he can't sleep and then he's awake at 3. But like, I just, so it's important to have a soap that doesn't have, you know, that's not going to irritate your eyes when you're putting your fingers basically onto your eyeball to put in your contact. This one didn't. It's a nice hand wash. It's cruelty free. I'm yet to find a cruelty free, fragrance free, essential oil free hand soap, which is super annoying because that's the kind of hand soap that you want if you have contacts, because eyes are super sensitive. So I'm happy that this doesn't irritate, this didn't irritate my eyes as I was using it to wash my hands before putting in contacts. But I'm a little annoyed with the people that design cruelty-free hand wash and body things of all varieties, because how hard is it really to make an unscented hand soap? Come on. Some people need it. Alright, this is the Derma E Hydrating Eye Cream. I stopped using eye cream when I started watching Dr. Dre. She was like, don't use eye cream. I mean, you can, but you're just paying extra to put a tiny amount of something just under your eyes. Your normal moisturizer should work around your eyes. If it doesn't, it's a bad moisturizer and you shouldn't buy it again. I'm paraphrasing. So, I use this up. It's a really nice occlusive moisturizer in a 1/2 ounce tube. So like it's smaller than you would typically want a face moisturizer to be. But it's a really nice occlusive moisturizer, no fragrance, because most brands don't put fragrance into their eye creams. Most of them don't. Not all, but most. So I use this up as a face moisturizer to, I have a couple of humectant serums that I'm working through, and this was really, or rather, I have a humectant serum, which I'm working through, and my moisturizers currently are very humectant heavy and very occlusive light. So I use this up as an occlusive barrier to seal in the humectants that I was piling onto my skin. And I liked it for that purpose. Even if I was still using this as an eye cream, I would not repurchase it because I didn't find that it really did much for my dark circles, which makes sense when you consider that a dermatologist says eye creams don't do much for anything. Like, just use the same fragrance-free thing on around your eyes as you do on the rest of your face. It should be fine. And if it's not fine around your eyes, consider just switching to a less occlusive, just switch to a less occlusive moisturizer overall, because if it's not good around your eyes, it's probably not great for the rest of your face too. Your face skin is just a little more sensitive than the rest of your body. So, okay. We are through all of the non-makeup things, so let's get into makeup. Let's start with mascara. Okay, this is the Covergirl Flourish by Lash Blast. This is in the shade Very Black because I want one thing out of my mascara, and that is drama. I have long lashes, and I find that a lot of mascaras that are lengthening don't do anything for my lashes. They'll make them look darker. I want a mascara that gives thickness at the base and coats my lashes because they're a light color. So they don't look very impressive if I don't have on mascara. But they are very nice lashes, and I enjoy my natural lashes. I just really like having a volumizing mascara. That's primarily what I look for. This Flourish mascara, first of all, points for being an excellent lower lash mascara. If I were the kind of high maintenance person that wore lower lash mascara every day, I would absolutely repurchase this. It's very separating though, which is the opposite of what I want in a mascara. I want volume, not definition of my lashes. I want my lashes to look clumpy. Not at the tip. I don't want them to be clumped together at the tip. But I want them to look really clumpy at the base because that's what I consider that my lashes need. Personally, my lashes are not very thick, but they are very long, and they're they're naturally curled. So I mean, all the advantages. So I like volume mascaras. This is not a volumizing mascara. Otherwise, it's fine. It didn't flake on me. It didn't smudge either off of my upper or my lower lashes. I moved this into my Empties actually because I wanted to open my supersizer mascara, which I had on backup, and I don't like having two mascaras open at once. And I was like, I don't need a lower lash mascara. So into the Empties it goes. This is the Urban Decay Troublemaker Mascara. This was fine. This was okay for, I don't know, maybe a month and a half, and then it started flaking and smudging on me. Like, I liked the look of the mascara. It wasn't nothing. You can probably see as I pull out the mascara one, there's plenty of mascara left in the tube. It's just not usable for me because I'm not looking to have a gray smudge on my under eyes by the end of the day. So that one's going away. As I said, it lasted about a month and a half. The miniature, the deluxe size, It Cosmetics Superhero, also only lasts about a month. This one flakes on me. The full size takes like 4 months to start flaking. This took 3-4 weeks, somewhere in that range, to start flaking. So I don't tolerate flaking in my mascaras. So once they start flaking, they go into my Empties. More eye things. This is a ColourPop liquid liner in Crazy, CRZY. It's a dark blue. It's pretty wet still, you can see. So why is it in my Empties, you may ask? Well, you may recall that my eyelids are real oily. Well, a normal liquid liner, I find, doesn't transfer and smudge if I use it with a if I use it with an eyeshadow primer, it won't transfer into my crease. This one does. When I use it with an eyeshadow primer, it smudges into my crease, it transfers onto my under eye. It generally speaking does not stay put. Add to that it is blue. Why did I decide that a blue liquid liner would be a good idea when blue and I do not get along as like eye colors, eyeshadow, eyeliner colors, just generally, because my under eyes are super dark blue most of the time. it's hereditary. I get enough sleep. I drink enough water. It doesn't matter. I just have dark circles. And if I put something blue on the top of my eye, through the power of proximity, my under eyes are going to look more blue, even if it doesn't transfer or fall out onto my under eyes, which this does. So goodbye. We nailed it. I don't know what you're talking about. More eyeliners. Okay, so these are the ColourPop Creme Gel eyeliners. This one was in my project pan. This is the shade Call Me, and it's real broke. Look, can you see? Can you see that eyeliner smudged on the outside? Yeah, the rest of it's inside the cap. So that one's dead. I didn't use it up, but it went into my project pan because the stick broke. And then this shade is Show Me, which is a nice copper. You can see it's barely used. If you're familiar with the amount that you get in these ColourPop retractable eyeliners. Why have I not used more of this, you may ask? Well, it's because this formula doesn't like my waterline. It doesn't go into my waterline. It doesn't stay in my waterline if I manage to get it there through patient working back and forth and eventually building up the pigment. It is gone very rapidly. My eyes tend to be watery. That's not exactly the right term. They tend to be hard on eyeliners. The only eyeliner that I have found that actually stays in my waterline reliably is the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide on Eye pencils. So I really like that formula. No other formula that I have found works. The Pixie eyeliner, I got it in brown and I liked it and it lasted and it stung my eyes like Billy O. It was horrible. That one went into the trash pretty rapidly because, I should have sent it off to Project Beauty Share. I didn't know about Project Beauty Share at that point. I think it was sharpenable. If it was retractable, it would have gone into the trash anyway. Yeah. In general, my eyes are really picky about what kind of colors they'll accept on the waterline. This color is not really one that I can line my lash line with and get any kind of definition. And this formula also doesn't work really well as a smudgy eyeshadow. So this pencil, it was just a bad choice. I bought all three of my ColourPop Creme Gel liners at the same time. Two of them are functional for one purpose and one purpose only. That's smudging along my top lash line. The others, the other one, Call Me or Show Me, the copper one, it's just not functional. It would be functional if I could put it into my waterline and have it stay there for any reasonable portion of the day. I can't. It doesn't go there. It doesn't work in other areas. So I've given up, and it is in the trash now. All right, things that are not lipstick. Okay, this is the NYX HD Studio Concealer. in CW00, I believe that this is the color Alabaster. This is a very light coverage concealer. It's okay. This shade isn't good for me, and I also hate that the packaging is broken. I was KonMariing my my makeup as I do on a regular basis, picking up each thing, asking. I actually asked 2 questions. 1, do you spark joy? 2, do I like you enough to use up? If the answer to both of them is no, into the empties it goes. This one, I just don't like it enough. I hate how my under eyes look when I put it on my under eyes. It's okay on my face, but look, can you see that it's drying a little bit darker? I hadn't even noticed that. I think it dries darker. Alright, so that's the dry concealer. And then that's the fresh concealer. Yeah, it deepens. Wow. Okay, so no wonder I don't like it as a face concealer. It would be a good match for me if it stayed to this color. It doesn't. Goodbye. Alright, one last thing. This is the Wet n Wild Reserve Your Cabana Color Icon Bronzer. It's the Color Icon Bronzer in Reserve Your Cabana. Excuse me. I bought this because of Kathleen Lights. And it's too subtle as a highlight on me. And it's okay as a finishing powder, but it doesn't play well with my current foundations that I'm enjoying using. And I've gotten a decent amount of use out of it, and I just decided during my last pan update that I don't feel the need to keep this in my collection. So I rolled this out at the quarterly refresh, and it's gone. It is in my empties. Most of the makeup things, in case you haven't gathered, most of them are not actually empty. Most of them have gone bad in whatever way. All right. Let's do ColourPop. All right, this is a ColourPop Ultra Satin in Echo Park. I really like the color. It smells like old crayons, so it's gone off. It's a really good color for me though. It's like a really solid brownish rosy nude. It's you know, if I've gone super bold with my eyes in whatever direction, this is a great color for me to just slap on my lips and be like, they're not competing at all. It's not a good everyday color for me. This is strictly a bold eye look kind of lipstick. So I ended up just not using this enough and it went bad on me. Yep, definitely super crayon smell. So that's sad. This is Solo or Solov. I pronounce it Solo. It's S-O-L-O-W. This is my last Ultra Matte, and it is real pink. Can you see how pink that is? It's showing up as almost fluorescent. It's not that bright, but it is real pink. It's like definitely pink. You might think in the tube that it's like a pinky nude. No, not on me. it is pink. And I like the color. I would be willing to use it up just based on the color, but I hate the Ultra Matte formula. Hate it so much. So I am not willing to do that to myself. That was one that the answer to, I mean, everything in this box pretty much from this point on is going to be something that I asked. Do you spark joy? Do I like you enough to use you up? And the answer to both of those was no. The NYX Butter Gloss in Peaches and Cream. This, I like the formula. You would think from the packaging that this is kind of an orange, and from the name, Peaches and Cream, that this was kind of an orangey, peachy shade. It's pink. It's hella pink. It's bubblegum pink. And the NYX Butter Glosses are pretty opaque, which in general I love, and I love the formula of the Butter Glosses, but this color, it just doesn't go over anything and blend in nicely. So, goodbye. I still have a couple of other NYX Butter Glosses that I do enjoy, but that one is going goodbye. This is the ColourPop Lippy Pencil in Oversized. It did the thing where it separated from the packaging. And this is a very light, very orange color. If you can see that, I currently have the color Faded in my project pan. Let me grab that and swatch it next to Oversized. So they are very similar in tone. Faded is kind of a terracotta on me, and Oversized is more of a bright orange. I really enjoyed, when both of them were new, I enjoyed lining my lips with this to provide a little bit of definition, and then filling with this, with Oversized. But I just didn't get enough use out of Oversized, and then it went bad, and I'm never buying a lippy pencil again because the shelf life is just too short. This is the ColourPop, lots of ColourPop in here. Short shelf life. Remember, when you're placing a ColourPop order for anything that's not powder, they have a short shelf life. So this was in a set, in a lip set with 2 Ultra Satins. This is the Ultra Glossy shade in Charming. And I don't hate the color. It's that there. So it's really glittery. And the thing that I don't like about this lip gloss that made me unwilling to use it up is that it's gritty. The glitter is gritty, and the lip gloss itself is not very moisturizing. So I can put this on my lips and then rub my lips together, and then and it'll look pretty, and then after an hour, my lips will be dry. And I'll put on more gloss, and then in 45 minutes, my lips will be dry. And I'm like, what is the point of this gloss? I've had that experience, that specific experience. All right, last full-size thing. This is the L'Oreal Paris Infallible Pro Matte Gloss. This is one of the last things that is not cruelty-free in my collection. And this is in the shade 300 Blushing Ambition. This is real pink. Let me swatch it next to these other things that got the kibosh because they're real pink. And you can see they're all different pinks, but they're all real pink. So I like this formula, but I don't like the color enough to be willing to use this up. So I just have decided that I'm not willing to give it space anymore, and goodbye. Next up, we have a few little minis. Hey, do you remember this? This is the Bite Beauty Amuse Bouche Liquified Lipstick in Whip. I used this up as part of my Project Pan earlier this year, and I was very proud of myself for sticking it out and really getting it to the point that it's difficult to get an entire application out of this bottle. Then I got a set of these Bite Beauty Liquified Amuse Bouche lipsticks. Amuse Bouche Liquified lipsticks, in case you can't tell. So it had Whip and this color, which is Demi-Glace, and Braised, which I still own, and it's actually the color that I have on my lips today. It's my favorite of the three by far. And then like a cayenne color. I don't know if it was specifically cayenne, but it's an orange red, and I gave it to my sister because I'm not really an orange red person. I'm more of a dark vampy blue red person. So Braised works great for me. Bright orangey red, not so much. I love orange, but bright orangey red, nah. All right, so Demi-Glace or Demi-Glace is a chocolate brown. It's right there. And I just don't wear brown lipstick. If I'm going for something vampy, I'm gonna wear purple. Like that's my default vamp. I don't enjoy brown lipstick. Just like in general. And this one it's very dark. It's not a horrible color on me, but it's like Echo Park, which is here, in the sense that I can't wear it with like a normal look for me, where I have like just concealer under my eyes, for example. I have to be pretty made up for this to look normal in my face, because it's like part of a specific look, if you get what I'm going for. So this is it's just not being used. It's not something that I can easily pass on to anyone. So learned my lesson. Don't buy minis. Along that line, two more minis. All right, this is a BareMinerals Marvelous Moxie in Speak Your Mind. There's just an edge of crayon underneath this, which this is from a set that's like 3 years old, so it's understandable that it would be going bad. It smells like vanilla with just a hint of plastic underneath. So yeah, this one's in here because it's going bad. And I kept it because I like the color. It's right there. And you may notice that in common with everything else on my hand, or like everything else in this corner here, it's very pink. And it actually turns out to be very close to the natural color of my lips, so much so that it doesn't really look like anything on my lips. Like, it doesn't look like I'm wearing a lip color. Even the finish doesn't look particularly like I'm wearing a lip color. This is why I didn't wear it. Because it doesn't do enough for my lip color to make it worth the effort of putting on a lipstick. Like, yes, I can put it on in the car. But why would I not just wait until I get where I'm going and pull my mirror out of my bag and apply a real lip color that finishes my look better? Yeah, like I just don't get colors like this. I'm really, really, really picky. In case you can't tell, I'm really picky with my pinks in particular. Pinks and nudes leaning brown. They need to be something very specific for me to be willing to wear them. And ready enough to wear them that they get used up. Alright, and then the last thing, this is a Tarte Tartist lip paint in Delish, and I actually love the color of this. That's this right here. This is like a dead ringer for Pasadena, which is one reason that I'm getting rid of it. I have Pasadena. Why do I need a dead dupe for Pasadena? And the other part of why I'm getting rid of this is because I hate the formula. It's a liquid lipstick. It dries completely. That's not something that I like. So like Solo up here, which dries completely and looks horribly cracked on my lips, I don't like the Tartist lip paint either, because it dries completely and then it looks horribly cracked on my lips. It does wear well, and it does dry completely. If you're looking for that in a liquid lipstick, I recommend it. It's just, that's not what I want in my lipstick. So, there you go. There you have it. That's my Empties. Empties box is empty once again, and I hope that you have enjoyed or learned something, or both. Thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe. Do whatever you feel like, and goodbye for now.